This is the story of Hester Prynne. She walks down the aisle in the court bearing the child, the sign of her sin, called Pearl.
Hester Prynne, you are brought before us because of the unholy acts against God you have done just this past 9 months ago of adultery. You have betrayed your innocence and have brought this spawn of the devil into this world. And as such, it is my opinion that you should face the most deadly of all sentences. I believe you should hang from the gallows. Do you agree, Dimsdale?
I disagree. I believe the crime fits the punishment. For all we know, her husband is dead. The Scarlet letter fits you.
Who is that?
That is Hester Prynne.
What did she do?
Adultery.
Very well. So Dimsdale, the letter is good enough for you?
It is.
Then it is good enough for me.
Hester Prynne, we find you guilty of adultery. However, instead of the normal charge, we make one exception, being as your husband is known as deceased. We shall grant you permission to merely wear a letter of scarlet name on your death. Court adjourned.
Agree that treason against one's husband might not result quite in such a penalty of death. The sin does not merit that much of a penalty, in most eyes. However, in the old Puritan times, it was worse than killing someone. And now Hester Prynne must stand on the scaffold and endure intense disgust from the rest of the crowd. They will taunt her until she's ready to be done.
Baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your colors burst. Make 'em go, You're gonna leave 'em all in
From the scaffold, she would leave to meet the man Roger Chillingworth.
Elliot,
Yes, sir?
take this away. Okay, good.
You rang.
Yes. Just like to put that in a more proper place.
Excuse me.
Why? Why must you do this? I'm very disappointed in you, Hester.
Is that why you have called me back here today?
Yes. Hester. Hester? You broke my heart, Hester. You broke my heart. All I'm going to ask, all I want to know, who? Who was it?
I mustn't tell you.
Who was it?
I mustn't tell you. It will disturb peace in the town.
Why won't you tell me who it was? All I want to know, tell me, who is the father
I thought
of
you
the
were
child?
dead.
I don't want to hear excuses. What? Are you kidding me? You were gone for 3 years. You disappeared for 3 years. Maybe it was your fault for sending me over here by myself in the first place. Okay? You expect me to be celibate all that time? Oh my God! I have needs. No! I can't even talk about that with you right now. That's gross. Okay? 365 times 3. That's how long you were gone. You expect me to be faithful that whole time? It was once. Maybe twice. No more than twice. I lost count at 4. Oh my God. I have to go. Hester. Come in. Take a seat.
Yes.
Let me ask one more time. Who is the father of the child? And don't tell me you don't know. I'm a very smart man. I have ways of making you talk. Okay, fine. That's fine. You're not going to tell me? I'll make a deal with you. You're not going to tell me who the father of the child is. And you're not going to tell anybody who I am. I'm not your husband here. Here? I'm Roger Chillingworth. We've never seen each other before. If you go back on this deal, I'm going to tell you a little story. Come here, Mr. Oscar. My father and him were in business for a very long time. You might be familiar with the very famous singer, Johnny Fontaine. Well, at the beginning of Johnny Fontaine's career, he was in a business partnership that was not suitable for him, right? So my father, good man that he was, offered to buy Johnny Fontaine's contract for $10,000. Business manager refused. So my father flew out Mr. Osateo. The next day, Johnny Fontaine was a free man, and my father had paid $1,000 for the contract. You might ask, how is such a thing possible? Because my father made him an offer that he couldn't refuse. My father assured him, as Mr. Osateo here held a gun to his head, that either his signature or his brains would be on the contract. It's a true story. This conversation never happened. Remember that. And I will find out who the father is. I can assure you that. You're free to go.
And now our story takes a turn. We talk about Pearl, Hester's daughter. Now, at this time, many would say that Pearl was raised differently, if you will, from the other children, separate. She was considered antisocial by age 3. However, this was beside the point. She was a very devilish child, many would say. In my opinion, she was raised fairly well by an incredibly sexy mother who has managed to keep her figure over the years, as well as having all of the stress. Pearl came into her own very soon, when she realized that her mother was known by one specific trait, the letter A upon her breast. Now, if she were to ever take this A off, only one would know what would happen. However, that's beside the personality. Pearl very soon grew up, became a very beautiful 7-year-old girl, as you may see. She was a very adventurous young child who knew what she wanted in life, and her mother was always there for her. And it was very nice to see the two working together through their hardships, even though one understood better
Mr. Dimsdale! Ah! Get moving!
Move, Lisa! Dimsdale was a troubled soul. Clearly, he had something to hide. Little did anyone know. Well, no one really did know, except him. And, well, I couldn't tell you who else knew because that would give away the story. But anyway, it seemed that he was falling right into a plan. A plan of a man known as Roger Chillingworth.
Dimsdale?
Yes.
You look like you're in pain.
Yes.
I've got an offer you can't refuse. I'm a doctor. Also commonly known as a medicine man. Look me in the eyes, son. Alright? What I want you to do, I have a plan for you. To help what ails you. Why don't you let me move in with you, set something up. Perhaps we can, work something out to heal you, make you better, find out what's ailing you. All right? Sound like a deal?
Yes.
All right. Be over at 5 o'clock.
Yes.
See you then.
Now Hester had caught wind of what Mr. Chillingworth was planning to do. Therefore, a visit was in order.
What do you want?
You know damn well what I want. Leave him alone.
Or else what?
Little did Chillingworth know, Hester was a deranged soul. After the incident, Hester realized that Dimsdale's safety would have been in jeopardy. Therefore, a meeting was called for between the two in the forest.
Yeah, all right. Whew.
Good.
You have a really deep voice. Last time the last encounter we had. No, I didn't hear it. Anyway.
I have very unfortunate news to tell you.
What?
Unfortunately, I believe that Roger Chillingworth, as he calls himself, knows about our history.
No.
Yes. Yes!
Yes!
Anyway. Isn't she gorgeous?
She is.
Aside from that, we seem to have quite a bit of a problem. Now, there are many things that we could possibly do between now and, well, whenever this happens. What shall we do?
We should move to Europe.
Europe. Europe. Yes. So many answers in just one small corner of the world. Oppression. All of this gone. Oh. So far. You must be She doesn't recognize me without this. So.
No big deal, really.
And now, many actions throughout this story lead to final conclusions in this final demonstration of Hester Prynne's ultimate sin. Now, after the story, everyone has their ending. Pearl, unfortunately, left. Well, not so unfortunately. The world she was living in was compared to hell. Many would agree. As for Roger Chillingworth, the man decided to hang himself. He had finally figured out who had done the ultimate sin. Other than Hester. So he figured the end. He lost the will to live and committed suicide, and now rots in hell. Let this be a lesson to all of you. Do not sleep with someone when you're married, because it's a very bad